Well, I got bit by the Sig bug like hard, not like a little itty bitty mosquito bite. I'm talking like a viper hit me. And it's kind of weird because I did not like the original P320s, and it started with the RXPX carry is kind of what got me into the Sig thing. I picked that thing up on a whim, felt good in the store, took it out to the range, and it turned out to be absolutely great. That led me into getting the RXPX full size, which again, turned out to be better than I had originally expected. Now, I was not always a fan of the P320. In fact, the original P320s or even my M17, the grip just felt weird to me. I could run them, I was good with them, they were reliable, they were accurate, but it just did not feel right, and that all really came down to how that grip was originally designed. And all of that mess around with the Sig led me into this bad boy right here, the Sig Monster, which is like a combination of aftermarket parts, Sig factory parts, and Sig factory custom parts to kind of make this thing all come together. If you guys like what's going on here, or the Sig Monster right there, make sure you guys get belled up, get subbed up, turn the notification icons on. If at any point you feel I deserved it, give the video a like. So the 320 is probably the most modular system out there, at least that I know of. I know there's stuff that has more aftermarket following, but the modularity of this thing is just absolutely awesome, and it is definitely the easiest setup as far as pistols go. Now, how that modularity works, if you don't know, say something like this P80 frame's got a Sig fire control unit in, just turn the button, pop that out, pull out your fire control unit right here, and you can swap this from frame to frame. This one is in that P80 frame. I did a video on that, love these things. Or you can put it in something like the Wilson Combat frame, love that thing as well, got a video on that. But it's just an absolutely amazing setup because not only can you swap the grip module out, the different slides will fit on those grip modules, and you can use the same fire control unit. Or in this case, you can buy the Sig custom shot fire control unit, put a comp on there, use your shorter slide, and get that cool kind of flush fit look. Go ahead and talk about what it takes to build the Sig Monster if you are looking for something like this bad boy right here. Now, I've done reviews on most of this stuff before. I'll leave links for all that stuff down below if you're interested as well. You can pick any of it up if you would like. So let's go ahead and break this thing down. Actually, I'm gonna pull a towel in here real quick because I changed the backdrop here for these because people said that leather was just too kind of reflectively shiny. So I figured, you know what, I'll try this stuff out. And this is actually paper, like photography paper. So I don't want to get oil all over it. But we'll break this bad boy down and then we'll talk about what's actually going on. Now this thing is super stiff, so I just use that to pull it up and pull this thing out. So obviously we know this is the heart and soul of the P320. That is your fire control unit. This is considered the pistol. That's got the serial number on it. So the only difference between this and the standardized ones, it's got a skeletonized trigger, it's got some different springs in there. A little bit better, a little bit lighter of a trigger pull, a little bit shorter on take up and reset. And it is definitely more expensive. And it's obviously got that nitride coating in there. Let's go ahead and bust out the frame real quick here. So this is the X5 full size frame. So it's got the full size pick rail all the way to the end, as you can see right there. This had the magwell on it when I purchased it, which is definitely a plus because that magwell is a factory one, fits into the factory X frames, and it does everything I need a magwell to do. And then as you can see down in there, that right there is just a big steel weight. The new ones have tungsten weights in them. This one had the steel weight in it. So definitely, it adds a lot of meat to it, but it really balances it out once you have a light and a slide and everything else on here. Finishing that off, of course, I mean, what would life be without a factory 21 round 2A Pez dispenser, right? I mean, that's just all we need to say about that. So talking about the slide. Now you can build these however you want. This is my original RXPX carry slide. So how this slide comes is it came with the night sights on it right there from the factory, the Sig bold front night sight. Did come with the Romeo 1 Pro that included that protective shroud around it. You can see I've beaten it up pretty good. Obviously the barrel and the comp are what kind of finish this off and allow it to fit mostly flush in that X5 frame right there. So this very precision stuff, I've had great luck with it. Everything that they've put out that I've seen, that I've had my hands on, has just turned out absolutely great. Factory recoil spring guide rod, all factory internals in the slide itself. And then we get to the business end up here. We have that Harrington Arms comp on it right there, which they did a great job of. Machine work on it, absolutely flawless. Got a nice logo right there on the end, not too bold and in your face. Some nice relief cuts in there, takes a little bit of that weight off of it. Big port across the top, and then a port on each side. And those ports are kind of angularly set up like this. So it's kind of evening out through the side. You're not getting all that blast out the front and up, which is what causes all that muzzle rise, right? So I'm not gonna take that off because it's all, as you guys know, you have to time these and then Loctite them in there. But I really just wanted to give you guys a good solid look at, you know, what goes into this thing. But you can build these with either the, you know, the custom fire control, you know, like this one, the Sig factory one that you got with your P320. Whatever you want to do, you can build it. And that's part of the great thing about the modularity of the Sigs right here, because in fact, I'll show you. So like this slide, this P80 grip can go, can just go with everything. You can put this fire control unit in here, this fire control unit in here, this slide on here, this slide on there. It doesn't matter. Oops, make sure that's down. It doesn't matter, right? You can put that on either piece and it's going to work. It's just a matter of what you want it to look like. So the modularity of it, it's just second to none, and it's just a lot of fun. So you can have things exactly the way you want them, build it the exact way you want, and have a very cool setup that's got some weight behind it, and definitely is one of the flattest shooting pistols that I have. Well, let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about the range footage, and let's talk about compensators, some of the problems or issues that they can cause, and how do you overcome some of that? That thing is just mean and angry. So a couple things you need to think about here. So anytime you comp something, you put a big old comp on there like that, you're dispersing that pressure as that round leaves the barrel. Now that can get you some problems if you are not using the right ammo, or if you're not using the right combination of parts. So say Glock, for example, or P80. So that's a little Roland special kind of thing that I built a while back. And it's got an Arc Division comp on there. Kind of looks like a guy behind bars with a smiley face right there. But I've had good luck with this. Other people have not. And then several other types of compensators out there would cause, you know, failure to feed, failure to extract issues, because it's actually doing its job so well that the slide cannot cycle. The same could be if you do, say, something like on this M&P right here, where you take it out and you have it ported or have good, you know, barrel work done or something like that. That can cause the same problems. And generally, you also don't really notice the effects of a comp until you start using that plus P, that crazy high-powered self-defense ammo. Now, the one thing I will say about this setup is it was immediate. And I'll roll that footage again of what happened when I first took a few shots with it. So as you can see by the look on my face, this thing was extremely flat and extremely calm. But it led me to the question of why. So why did it calm this thing down, even on that 115 range ammo, it's not high powered, where on say something like a Glock with like that Arc comp, you can feel a little bit of a difference, but it's not that noticeable. And I was just sitting there kind of trying to figure out like why. How did it turn out this way as compared to some other things? And there are a couple of reasons why. One, I'm using that massive full-size grip right there. Not only is it huge, got a good finger groove in there, feels good, good texture. It's got a mag well, adds a little bit more weight. But remember, inside the X5 grip, it's got that big old steel weight in there. So this thing is like, it's heavier than a 1911. So it's heavy. Now that is going to help reduce that felt recoil. Now I have fired X5s before and it didn't quite feel that flat. So basically what happened is combining this comp with the barrel and this factory spring and the factory fire control unit with the weighted grip of the X5, it completely changed how the thing felt. It went from feeling a little bit of a higher bore axis, a little bit more of a snap or a buck. It went to feeling like one of the flattest things that I run out there. Not only that, but that return to target was super fast, as you saw when I just couldn't help myself and started dumping those rounds. Now, I'd like to say that I had built all that that way on purpose, but it didn't dawn on me until after the fact when I started thinking to myself, like, why is this feeling this good as compared to other things I've used a compensator on or ported the barrel on in previous setups? Let's of course talk about the reliability aspect of this, because like I said, with other things, you can run into issues. I was down to 115, 124 grain range ammo, target practice ammo, garbage, some of it. I've got nothing else left. I'm all out of my high pressure stuff. I'm all out of my self-defense stuff, except for what I am carrying, because it's just been a mess getting a hold of really good ammo out there, and it's just really overpriced right now. So as far as the reliability went, 115, 124 didn't have a single malfunction. And like I said, the immediate feeling was absolutely changed on the range with that comp and that grip and everything that went into that build. From being, as Sig is kind of known for, a little bit more of a higher bore axis, gives you a little bit more of like a buck feeling. That was totally not the case once this thing was out there on the range performing with even basic ammo. And of course, as you know, the higher pressure ammo is where that comp is really going to kind of shine, come to life, and calm that thing down. So of course, with high pressure ammo, you're gonna feel a little bit more of a recoil impulse, but still, I was not expecting the change that that thing gave me. Well, let's talk about the cost and the why. Like, how much does something like this cost, and why would you do this? On the cost, it's all over the place because it depends on how you start. Do you have an RX carry and you just need to buy a barrel, a comp, and the frame? Do you need to buy the optic? Do you need to buy the light? It all depends on where you start from, because you can buy the custom fire control unit right there. You can use your existing one. You can use an existing slider. You may have to source one from the aftermarket. So giving you a legitimate price, it's just gonna be all over the place. You're really gonna have to kind of price that stuff yourself. What I can say is between these very precision barrel and the comp, they were very budget friendly for as quality as they are. And of course, that why? Why would we go to something like this over just leaving it the way it is? Well, because sometimes good enough just isn't good enough. And because we can, and if you can afford it, why not? If it's something you wanna do, go do it. Well, that is what I've got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the Sig Monster there. Huge shout out to all of my Patreons for all the support. Next live stream, it's always the first Monday of the month, unless something weird comes up. All the giveaway stuff should be shipped out or to your door by now. Enjoy all of it. If you guys are interested in getting signed up for that, the link will be down below. And of course, if you guys are interested in any of that stuff, follow the first link in the description for the build list, or you can check out my website, tacticalconsiderations.com, where everything is going to be listed for you to check out. And those are affiliate links. Those help the channel, they help keep the lights on, and help keep the ammo flowing, which is a massive support structure as well. You guys enjoy you some life out there. It's summertime, it's getting hot. Remember, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. I will see you guys on the next one. Oh, and just one last thing. If you guys have been on the fence about a P320, specifically the X series, just get off the fence. Just do it.